Hi, my name is Arandes, and here's another episode of Healing Together. Today I'm going to talk about surrendering. It's very interesting because a lot of people talk about surrendering. I have to learn how to surrender. And in reality, you don't have to learn how to surrender. As a matter of fact, you don't have to do anything in order to surrender. Because surrender is not something you do. Surrender is simply the experience of being. Okay? Right now you don't have to do anything to surrender. You just have to allow surrendering be. Now, why is that surrendering is very confusing? Because for the most part, people want to surrender because they have a motive behind it. In other words, I want to surrender because I want to feel better. I don't want to feel this anymore. Therefore, I want to surrender. Then this experience will change. This feeling is going to go away, or whatever the case may be. So let's see what the trap is behind all that. When I surrender with a motive, in reality, what's happening is that first I have to identify myself with something, an I, in this case a person, that is surrendering, and that all it does is corroborating the belief that I am a person, that I am something that is limited, that is separate from the whole. You see? And in the space of surrendering, in true surrendering, in the experience of sort of observing, so to speak, I'm not surrendering to make any changes, either internal or external. There's no such thing as one or the other because there's only all that there is, but that's the language that I'm using. It's a way of being aware or being conscious that what I am is not the experience that I want to surrender to or surrender with. That what I am is that which is aware of the experience. And that also is very tricky because if I am trying to be aware of the experience, there's still an identification with something that is aware of an experience. You see the trap there? That's why this is not something that I do. It's simply the experience of the experience itself. Now, what all the different situations, experiences, or whatever that is taking place in my life allows me to do is to be conscious of how am I still identified with which I think myself to be. In other words, whatever experience is giving me an opportunity to look at how I still identify with a personal self, so that I can open myself to the experience of surrendering. And again, these are words. Words are not going to get us anywhere. As a matter of fact, don't try to use words to have the experience. I can just simply open myself to the experience in each and every moment. And that I do so through the complete acceptance of what is. That's what it means by being in the present. I mean, I cannot be in the present because the present is what is anyway. But the language that we're trying to use, that is very limited anyway, it's simply an attitude of acceptance. And again, acceptance is not something that I try to do. Acceptance is simply the experience that is just taking place. When I get out of the way, when I stop interposing, I hope that's the word, on whatever it is that is taking place, my beliefs, my ideas of what this means or whatever. In that sense, I can live a life in a state of surrender. That's basically what surrender is. Once again, if I try to surrender, if I try to apply surrendering, I still have to identify with something that is surrendering. Again, because in a sense, I don't want to let go of my identification with this personal self. And that's where the problem is. And that's the only problem that there is. This identification with the personal self is what allows me to experience boundaries, limits. Me, you. Body, another body. Me, the world. The experience of totality is limited by the boundaries that I have placed upon this idea of who I think I am. This is not about trying to get anywhere, not to seek a particular experience. This is a complete state of constant observing how easily I get distracted with my experience so that I can once again let go, let go, let go. Not because I want to have an experience, it's just a letting go, because the experience of letting go immediately brings peace in the mind, peace of mind. And eventually that's what we're talking about. If you really want to make the best out of this experience, is by remembering that peace has to be the most valuable thing in your life. If you're still thinking for things in the world or whatever, then this experience is going to elude you all the time. But when peace is the most important thing, the direct way to that experience is complete surrendering. In other words, complete acceptance. That's all we're doing here. We're not doing anything else. There's nothing special. There's nothing specific to do. There's nothing to do. Again, nothing that involves this. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to look for anything. It's a mental experience of a complete state of surrendering. It's an acceptance of what is. And then that which you are has the space to reveal itself in due time. And again, don't get caught up in the language, because now I'm going to try to surrender because in due time. No, because the experience is this one. This is the experience of surrendering. This is the experience right now. There's nothing has to change. Nothing has to be different. But I will never allow myself to have this comprehension if I still have the idea that something has to change, that something has to be different. And again, if the motive behind my surrendering is that something is different, I'm not surrendering. Once again, I'm trying to manipulate. And that's not what we're talking about here. So it's very, very simple. That's it.